Hey guys, it's Lauren and welcome back to my channel for the love of. If you are joining me for the first time, I want to say welcome and thank you for taking the time to click on this fall, yes, I said it, fall review / fall preview from Yankee Candle. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome on back. You guys, we are only temporarily, just for a second, bringing out some of the fall decor. I finally got my hands on some of Yankee Candle's newest fall preview items. I have 5 different melt cups I'm going to review for you today. And these are not part of like their semi-annual sale like old fragrances. This is actually part of a new, at least to my knowledge, I don't know. Those of you who are like hardcore Yankee Candle fans, comment down below. I don't think any of these are repeats except for, actually I think one of them might be. Anyhow, these are the newest fall preview items that Yankee Candle has. They just put these out about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see I bought one, and I'll show it to you in a moment, to blend with some of my floral fragrances. And needless to say, I couldn't use it with any of them. It was definitely very much so a fall fragrance. Bella, what are you doing? So it's mid-afternoon right now. My cat's going crazy. So if you hear noise like running around, she's out in the window, sees a bird, runs to the other window. So if you hear anything, that's Bella. Let's just dive into this, you guys. I can't believe I'm already talking about fall. It's the beginning of June. This is crazy. But I did want to get these out to you guys because some of you might be looking at probably purchasing these. I know a lot of you guys love fall fragrances, and I do too. But I just started on my summer scents, but I do it for you guys. All right, so the first one that I tried was dried lavender and oak. And as I said, this is the first one I bought. I didn't get any of the other ones. I got this because I thought I could blend it. It's lavender. When I was burning my floral fragrances, it was nice to see Yankee Candle coming out with a lavender scent. They usually don't come out with like just a pure lavender, except now that it's semi-annual sale, they do have their just regular lavender, which I don't know why they don't carry year round. Anyhow, I'm going to mention this because I've never noticed this before, and it kind of goes without saying, but now that this has happened to me, every time I melt one of these melt cups, I'm going to pay attention for this. When I picked this up in store, the dried lavender and oak, and I smelt the melt cup, it really had a strong, just herbaceous, warm lavender scent. The oak, any of that muskiness, any of that warmth, it was there, but it was not insanely noticeable. It was definitely a mixed lavender scent, but it smelled mainly like a herbaceous lavender, at least to me. When I pop this on my warmer, and I do want to mention all the ones I'm going to go over today, I use them in the same warmer, same place, so I can kind of have, a variable of the strength of them all being in the same area. So when I popped this on my warmer, I was going in and out of the house, and then I walked back in, and I was just hit with a wall of just almost a cologne, overbearing, warm, very fall type fragrance. Maybe not even fall, just warmth. Something you would burn during cooler weather, fall, winter. I'd say this is almost like 80-20, you guys. It's so crazy. And now that I have since melted down on it and used it, when I smell it now, that oak, that mahogany, that warm fragrance is so, so noticeable. I mean, this is like 80% cologne, oak, warmth, and then maybe 20% lavender. I like perfumey, warm type fragrances. I'm not a huge fan of like oak, woodsy, mahogany. They're almost headache inducing. In this one, it is borderline headache inducing. I really tried to get on board with like mahogany, teakwood, and any of those scents because they're warm, they're very noticeable, they're bold. They're just a little too much for me. So if you guys like floral, don't let this throw you off seeing that it has lavender in it. It's very much so a masculine scent with a dry lavender. I tried to look online, you guys, on Yankee Candle's website to check out all the notes of these. They aren't available. Maybe they'll put them up at some point, but I even tried to search for them on their actual website. I know they're doing their semi-annual sale right now. Couldn't get the notes. So if you guys happen to have the notes for these or have a little more info, comment down below. All right, moving right along. So for that one's strength, I will mention 1 to 10, 10 of course being super crazy strong. That's like a solid 8.5, 9. It's strong. If you like a cologne-esque scent with like a hint of lavender, you might like the dried lavender and oak. Would I purchase it again? No, too much for me. I'll just pick at random. I have 4 more here. This is my first time smelling this scent and my first time using this scent. I do believe this is a repeat scent. I think this might be one Yankee brings back year after year. You guys can let me know, but I remember hearing about this one. Farm Stand Festival. I didn't know what to expect with this one. So I melted this one, of course. I did a new one each evening. This one, it's really pretty. It's absolutely a fall fragrance. Think of like a craft store. You know, sometimes schools will do little craft fairs and you have like dried apples and like, you know, dark berries and fruits and things like that. It's very much that. The thing I like about it is a lot of time fall fragrances tend to be incredibly heavy on like cinnamon, clove, almost to the point where that's all you can smell. I don't know the notes on this again, but it has a nice blend. It's a nice balance. There's probably some sort of spice in here. I want to say mulling spice, but I don't know. But it's not spicy like cinnamon or clove. It's just got a really beautiful warmth to it. Almost like they have a picture of apples and cider on here. Kind of like maybe like a cider-esque, but not that tart note to it. It's just a very warm berry type fragrance. It's really hard to identify, which is why I do wish I had the notes on here to kind of draw from. Really pretty. Nowhere near as strong as the dried lavender and oak. Definitely noticeable. Also probably because I've been burning and melting florals for the past several months. So anything in this type of scent range is going to be very, very noticeable than what I've usually been using. Really, really pretty. I'd say strength-wise, it's like a mid. It's not insanely strong, but absolutely noticeable. I'd say it's like a solid 6, solid 7. Would I purchase this again? I don't know. I'd have to melt it. All these I'm going to use in the fall again. I'm not completely sold on it. I think it's a nice, standard, non-offensive fall fragrance. It's not super cinnamony. It doesn't have like the, if you're not an apple fan, they put apple in a lot of things. It's not like a super appley scent either, if that's not your thing. Just a really nice, standard fall fragrance. So that's a Farm Stand Festival. I believe this one has been out before. Still on the fence of whether I would get it in candle form or get it again. All right, let's see what else we have here. I will say this one of all of them is my favorite, which is odd because the notes that I picked up in this are usually something I don't like, and that is Cider House. And I didn't know if I would like this one or not. I don't know if I'm crazy, but you guys, when I picked this up in store and I smelt it before I even melted it down, once I melted it, the scent changed a little bit. I picked up this really beautiful, like tart cherry scent, a very, almost like a cherry crumble with a bit of like spices, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, like a cherry, like cider or something like that. So, so pretty. When I melted it, I picked up a little more of an appley, like a baked apple crumble, still a bit of tart cherry in it. The picture has apples on there, but to me it really does have, it's really weird, like a tart cherry type fragrance. It's not, well, it has apples on it. To me, it's not like a Honeycrisp apple. It's not like Macintosh. It's very much so has that spices in it, but not over the top, kind of like, what is that one from Bath and Body Works, like Welcome Home or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking Scentsy. Or Home Sweet Home. I think Yankee Candle has a Home Sweet Home that's very cinnamon. It's not as over the top cinnamon as that. Really, really pretty, but I picked up a tart cherry. So I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. We'll see when the notes come available online what the notes really are in this one. But this one was beautiful. Strength-wise, 1 to 10, it was throwing it like a solid 8, 8.5, at least in the area I had it. Would I purchase this again? Yes, absolutely. It's really, really pretty, and it's a nice balance. They didn't overdo it with the cinnamon and spices. You can still smell the really, really pretty fruits, apples, cherries, whatever they have in here. Really, really beautiful. I would buy this again in candle form. So that's Cider House. Got 2 more. And if you guys have used any of these, comment down below. This one I was the least excited for. This is Golden Chestnut. I didn't really know what to expect. This one was probably the lightest of the bunch when I melted them. It just kind of has, to me, it reminds me of a standard spiced, lightly spiced fall fragrance. Almost like, and it sounds bad, but a watered down version of Yankee Candle's Home Sweet Home, where Home Sweet Home is very heavy on like cinnamon and spices and everything like that. This is like a little bit toned down version of that. It got me thinking, Golden Chestnut, I go, I don't even know what chestnuts smell like. I know it's a seasonal thing. I don't know if I've ever even had roasted chestnuts. So I don't know really what to look for with that. Just a very straightforward, spicy fragrance, but it wasn't that strong. 1 to 10, I'd say it was probably maybe at like a 5, 5.5. The melt cups are a little bit stronger, so I could smell it, but it was very mellow, very mellow. Not one of my favorites. I mean, it would be good if you were maybe burning like, I don't know, Farm Stand Apple or Macintosh or Honey Crisp Apple, and you wanted to give it a bit of a cinnamon spiciness. You could have this going with it, but not a lot of depth and dimension to the Golden Chestnut, at least in my opinion. And last, but certainly not least, and this is the one I thought I would really like because I'm a huge gourmand fan. I love pumpkin pecan waffles. I love marshmallow fireside. I love all those sweetsy cinnamon caramel swirl. It can be a little too much sometimes, but I love all those yummy fragrances. And this is Sweet Maple Chai. And last holiday season, Colonial Candle came out with this really beautiful chai candle. It was red. I'm trying to think. It was some sort of warm chai, and it was gorgeous. So I go, oh, a chai fragrance. I might really, really like this one. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. Very warm, very, very cozy type fragrance. You can smell the chai. You can smell like just that cinnamony. You really pick up the, at least to me, you know, when you have like a drink or you're baking with anything and you sprinkle the cinnamon over it, you smell that powderedness, like that ground cinnamon. That's probably the top note of this. At least that's the first thing I got. You really just smell like a powdery cinnamon, and then the chai kind of creeps in. It has a smoothness to it. If you're looking for like a strong maple scent, this I can smell the maple. But it's not super noticeable. If you're looking for like a strong maple type fragrance, this really, at least to me, isn't it. If you can tolerate a little bit of maple and spice, you may really, really like this one. I don't see myself getting this in full-size candle form. Again, I'll melt down on these, you know, as we get to fall. Maybe I will wind up really, really liking them the more I melt them. But this is not one I would probably run back and get in full-size form. It's okay. The strength is pretty decent. 1 to 10, I'd say this one's coming in at like a solid 7, 7.5 for the melt cup. Smooth, mellow, not an in-your-face scent, but you just don't get much of that maple. And I do like maple, so maybe that's kind of what I was hoping on. But I would say of all 5, my absolute favorite is Cider House. I will absolutely buy this in candle form if they wind up coming out with it. Really, really, really pretty. So front runner for me is Cider House. I'd say my second favorite, if I had to pick, oh, that's a tough one. Probably the Farm Stand Festival. I like apple scents. I like apple-y, light cinnamon type scents in the fall. So these two would probably be my favorite. My least favorite, ooh, that's tough. I would have to say I was really thrown off by the dried lavender and oak. I don't know what I was expecting. It's oak. It's a very strong masculine fragrance. But I'm telling you, on cold, when I originally smelled this, it smelled much stronger on the lavender side, and after melting it really changed. So be cautious when you're getting these, and that's why I did want to film this, just to kind of put this out there to give you guys some insights and my thoughts on some of these new fall fragrances. So you guys, I just spent 15 minutes talking about 5 different melt cups, so I am going to sign off. Comment down below if you guys have gotten into Yankee Candle and have smelled any of these new fall favorites. And if you have used any of them, let me know which ones are your favorites. You guys, before I sign off, I want to let you know I am on Instagram. Come find me at life, LIFE _ with WITH and the letter L. I like to use Instagram to post a lot of my upcoming videos, or for example, this whole week, I was taking little pictures of the ones I was melting and testing, kind of leading up to a video. So if you're on Instagram, come find me. And you guys, that is it for me today. As always, I hope you are having an awesome day, an awesome evening, an awesome weekend, whatever time it is you're watching this video. And until next time, we'll see you later.